Good morning. In our previous lesson, we experimentally determined that the coefficient of static friction between this book and this incline is equal to the tangent of the incline angle right before the book begins to slide.
Flippin' physics.
The incline angle shown in the video was 15 degrees, and therefore we determined that the coefficient of static friction was equal to 0.27. However, I think it is important you realize I performed the experiment 10 times with the book and the board in, as much as I could, the same locations every time. There was actually a range of values for the incline angle from 13 degrees to 17 degrees, with 15 degrees as the average, which is what I used in the video. A more accurate representation of the coefficient of static friction can be found by using the average value, which is 0.271855, or 0.27 with two significant digits, and also the standard deviation, which is 0.027527, or 0.03, rounded to the same place as the average value. Therefore, the coefficient of static friction is the average, 0.27, plus or minus the standard deviation, 0.03. So rather than reporting the coefficient of static friction as 0.27, to include the uncertainty, the coefficient of static friction should be reported as 0.27 plus or minus 0.03. Physics textbooks and problems often illustrate coefficients of friction as exact numbers. However, as this example clearly demonstrates, they are not. Actually, I want to pause myself for just a moment and point out that the only way we could determine the standard deviation, and therefore this uncertainty, is by having multiple trials. If we only had one trial, like we do in most physics problems, and like we did in the previous lesson, the answer without the uncertainty is fine. In fact, usually in our lessons, we will only have one trial and will not be calculating uncertainty using standard deviation. However, uncertainty is a part of the AP Physics 1 curriculum, so I felt we should at least discuss it briefly. Thank you very much for learning with me today. I enjoyed learning with you.